to 8:10 on a Tuesday morning. Maddie, Jason and Arnold with you, brought to you by Nescafe Dolce Gusto, joined by our very suave and charming date coach Kaidan Tay from Lunch Actually. So Kaidan, today you're going to teach us how to keep our partners interested. We're talking about partners like dating partners, okay,
right.
Not spouse partners.
No, not spouse partners. So,
that's part 2.
Okay. So how does it work? You show a bit of cleavage?
Is that how they keep you interested, huh? Oh, no.
That's one way.
That's simple, aren't you?
so that's of course, physical appearance is very important. That's one of the key things that people look for. That's one of the easiest ways for you to develop a good first impression with the opposite sex.
But it's not long term.
Yes, exactly. And too many girls fixate themselves on physical attraction. They keep wanting to slim down. They want to, they want to dress nice and everything. Well, yes, it works to a certain extent. But really, when it comes to it, right, it is more of the friendliness and the topics that you talk about that really endears you to the other person.
Is that true, Kaidan? Are you just jerking our chain?
No, you think about it. Have you ever met a pretty girl that you saw, wow, she's pretty, and you talk to her and you're like, okay,
Yes, almost every single time I meat a pretty girl.
Oh,
that's what happens.
Why are you looking in my direction?
Hey, don't flatter yourself. No, but the thing is, guys are very visual.
Exactly,
So
I agree.
the looks do count quite a bit.
Yes.
But the thing is, you can give yourself a huge advantage if you actually have a personality.
That's right.
And so many pretty girls fail to develop. I'm looking at Maddie again. So many pretty girls fail to bother to develop a personality because they just rely on their looks.
That's right.
So if you're not so pretty, you can still compete by being cool.
Yes.
I'm not sure develop a personality is the right. I mean, can you develop one, or rather showcase your personality?
Because for a lot of people, they don't know what
It's a bit late, right? When you're 35.
There is always hope, Arnold.
Well, okay, let's put it this way. You can try new things. When I say personality, it's not just your character, but the things you like, your hobbies, the things you do. You can always try new things and meet new people.
I like to go to the manicurist and do my pedicure. I like sewing and knitting.
Okay, some topics work, some don't.
Okay, we're going to continue with more of that and how you can ensure that second date. If you have any questions for our date coach Kaidan Tay from Lunch Actually, send in a text right now, 97170
Maddie, Jason and Arnold in the morning. Brought to you.
Some nights and fun. We are having fun here, as always, on Tuesdays with our date coach Kaidan Tay, who came in a taxi this morning. Forgot the name of the uncle, the taxi driver. But anyway, uncle, how are you? Because today Kaidan was telling us that this taxi uncle says that all his customers who go into his taxi wants him to turn to Kiss 92.
That's right.
We like that. We like that.
That's awesome.
So you're teaching us how to keep our partners interested, when you're dating, and how to ensure that second date. But I want to know, right, what constitutes a good date? Does it differ from men to women?
That's a very good question, because a lot of people, when they come to me and they tell me that, hey, I've had this great date with this guy and everything went well, but how come he's not following up with me? So clearly something is not right there.
The guy is saying, "Oh my God, I had the most horrible date."
I have to say, it's happened to me before. I'm so sure that there's going to be a second date because it was awesome, and then you just end up waiting like, what happened? So do you all look for different things?
Okay, so I think one of the key things that ladies look for is romance and excitement on a date. So if the guy brings her to this very exciting place and it's very romantic and she feels that, oh my God, everything is going so right. But you must understand, from the guy's point of view, many times the excitement and the romance is really pre-planned.
Right.
And it's a practice.
Shattering of glass.
It's practiced romance and it's practiced excitement. Actually, I teach them how to do it.
Right.
So picking the restaurant, the location is all
pre-planned.
It's all planned.
It's like
there's no real excitement to it.
Spider spinning his web, right?
So there's a hitch behind every guy. A date coach. So
Even if I'm not there, they would have gone through many dates and they would have learned what works and what doesn't work. So that's why when it comes to you and you feel excited and you feel romantic, well, the next girl will also feel excited and romantic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how do I one up the next girl?
Yes.
Apart from being excited and
yes.
romantic.
So you're saying these girls are being suckered and they shouldn't be played. They shouldn't let themselves be played for a fool. If a woman actually goes on this date and says, "You know what? I'm not impressed,"
yeah. Like
then she's gonna stand out, right?
exactly. Am I supposed to turn my nose up and go, it's all right, thanks?
Yes.
Well, the thing is, if you turn your nose up, it's going to be very turn-offish for the guy as well because
Really?
he puts in effort.
But he might want a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. So, what kind of guys want a challenge? Usually, guys who want a challenge want to play, and these guys are called
Players.
Yes, exactly. So players go for girls who give a challenge. Otherwise, there's nothing to play.
Right.
And the normal, decent guys want girls who are normal and decent and don't play hard to get.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a big thing altogether.
But then again, how do you win? Okay, if you're excited, romantic, the next one also excited, romantic, so you can't really win. So how do I one up on the other one?
Okay, so how do you win is that you must be you must show your feminine side. That's really important. Because a lot of guys, see, I know if I bring a girl to restaurant A and then point B, she'll feel good. So the question is, does she make me feel good when I bring her there?
That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Because if the girl like turns up her nose and I know that this place works,
Right.
and she tells me that, oh, you know what kind of place is this? And I would be like, well, that's it. You're not coming out again.
Right.
Yeah.
So the key is to make him feel good.
yeah, that's right. And when he tries to make you feel good, it's very
Okay.
important.
Well, that's
it's-
quite
it's
good
a bit
advice.
Of, mutual back
Yeah,
scratching going
that's
on.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense. All right. And if you have any questions for our date coach, Kaiden Tay, on how to keep your partner interested and ensuring that second date, give us a text 971-70920.
Are you and your partner a dynamic, outgoing?
It's 8:38 on a Tuesday with Maddie, Jason, and Arnold in the morning, brought to you by Nescafe Dolce Gusto. And with us is date coach Kaiden Tay from Lunch. Actually, got a text here because earlier on we were talking about, how you can keep your guy or your girl interested, your partner interested, and ensure a second date. And we were asking you what constitutes a good date and does it differ for men and women? And we got a text here saying, you know what, you should check out Gary Chapman's The 5 Different Love Languages, because anything that is not usual and mundane constitutes a good date, and to him a good date is to fulfill a lady's love language. Which to a certain extent, I agree that the love languages are very important because we talk a lot about that, and they are namely words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, touch and gifts. But do you really want to do that on the first date? I mean, what if his love language is touch? I don't want to be touching him on the first date.
Well, not everything on the first date, but like I would say, if you're dating a person for, like, say, 4, 5, 6 dates, do everything. But on the first, not all.
Yeah. You can't do all on the
Yeah,
first
you
date.
can. It's a bit odd if you're going to
You-
do everything on the 1st
You'll look
date.
like a crazy person.
Yes.
So the first...
Can't you subtly test each of them on the first date?
You can.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
can.
idea.
Yeah, you can test up a little bit. So if you're a guy, just do very mild touching on the shoulders, on the elbows, not anywhere else.
Yeah, and if she looks uncomfortable, so maybe
Yeah, so
touch is
just-
not her love
yeah,
language.
definitely.
But one thing we have learned, and you agree as well, like for guys, most of them, their love language, their primary love language is words of affirmation.
That's right.
So you were saying that I should go there, stroke his ego, and say things like, "Oh, you're awesome," and that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Doesn't?
won't you get the wrong idea?
Yeah.
No?
That's
Won't
the
I
whole
seem
point,
flaky
right?
Oh,
and
the whole
fake?
idea is to give him the wrong idea.
Really, guys, you like a girl to say you're awesome, and that's it?
Of course. You don't even have to mean it. You just have to say it.
Always preferable to something not nice.
Yeah.
You're
That's
not
easy
awesome.
then.
It's better than.
That's easy then.
We have another question here. Personality and dressing are definitely important, but don't you think if there's a second date, this date should be well planned, and we shouldn't just be sitting in a cafe and watching movies, presumably off a phone or iPad or something?
That's a good question. It really depends on the nature of the person and the nature of the two people on the date. If those two people are very outdoor kind, they like to go different places, then yes, of course, the guy should try to plan something different. But then again, if they're very bookish, they're very bookworm type, then sitting in a cafe and reading together, discovering new places in Tiong Bahru, new bookshops, that might be the perfect date for the two of them.
Actually, that's a good way to get to know somebody. Like, if somebody wants to go on a crazy adventurous date and you're more of a stay-at-home sort of person,
Yeah.
you should know already.
Big warning signs.
It's a big warning
So
sign
you're looking
already.
you're looking for shared interests.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because without that, it's actually a shared interest is very important for the relationship to be very smooth.
So the person might not be rejecting you if you don't have a second date. It's just that they want to go do something outdoors and you want to stay home. So he's like,
Yeah,
we
that's
don't.
true,
You
that's
know
true.
what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got another question here from Bridget who asks, does a platonic relationship exist between a man and a woman? Normally, girls like to start off as friends. Yeah. Before taking it
Good
further.
one.
Do guys prefer to start off as lovers and then get to know the girl better as a friend?
Okay.
Question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Now, the first thing is whether platonic relationships exist. The short answer is yes, it exists. However, don't count on it.
Yeah.
It's really something which is like, very rare, like some unicorn or something.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
And don't count on being able to stay platonic for a long, extended period of time.
Especially if you spend a lot of time together,
That's right.
Because
That's right.
someone's going to have
Feelings
different
and-
expectations.
Yeah, different expectations. Yeah,
okay.
it's very
It's a
troublesome.
minefield.
That's right. So whether or not guys want to become friends first, then lovers, or lovers first and friends, again, it's very, very dependent on the people in the relationship itself.
Yeah.
For some people, they want to take it like months, and I've seen people who have been friends for years before they become lovers.
Yeah.
That's the best kind, right? You get to know each other really, really, really well.
In a way.
But
If
I
you have
feel
any-
kind of bad for the guy, though. What?
Why?
Having to wait those years and years.
You're not the waiting sort, are you, Jason Johnson? If you have more questions for Kaidan, he's back again next Tuesday. And meanwhile, if you want to email him during the week, you can also do so via our email, breakfast@kiss92.sg, or you can email him directly, Kaidan@lunchactually.com. Thanks, Kaidan. See you again next week.
Thank you.
Coming up still, hey, did you know that it's illegal to rent out your